Current Sports Podcast. Today is Tuesday, September the 21st, and this is season number 3 of episode number 12. Please follow us on our social medias at Dan Gets Rich on the Instagram and the Facebook. Please check us out on the YouTube because you can see our pretty faces on there. And please hit that subscribe button on whatever platform you are consuming your podcast. My name is Richard Parks, and I'm joined by the see-through man himself, Daniel Cole. How are you, Dan?
What's going on, Rich? I know we were just talking about this before we got online. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. You can see through my chest right now, and I have no idea what background that is. There's no home behind me. I'm sitting in my office at work. There's no potpourri table, couch. I don't know where that's coming from.
So for those of you that aren't watching, they're just listening. So it looks like there's some sort of green screen button or something on this StreamYard. We're on a new podcast kind of format here, the StreamYard, and I can see right through Dan's shirt and into this. Basically, it looks like an Ethan Allen showcase of furniture. There's a basket of pine cones on the coffee table there. There's a nice stone hearth fireplace. Is it hearth or hearth? There's a 1998 wall unit, stereo and television wall unit there. The whole gimmick there. Nice couch.
Yeah, it does. It's a little showroom there because obviously nobody who lives anywhere in a home has a white couch that is still white, right? I mean, you bring home a nice, beautiful couch, white couch for a couple days, it's dirty.
Yeah, we have a white couch, but we have a couch cover that goes over the white couch. It's not white anymore. It's like having we just got a truck and we have new seat covers for the truck. We can't have the seat covers. We had to get new seat covers for the truck, so
did your parents have the plastic cover over the furniture?
We didn't go there. No, I think we just had, my parents were hippies. They barely had furniture. We kind of sat on the floor, Indian style and sang Kumbaya, and we had beads between each doorway was like a bead doorway. No, we didn't do that though.
My grandparents had if I recall correctly, they did a couple of their things that got a lot of use. They had the plastic over it.
Yeah, I mean that was a thing back then, though, right? You want to preserve the couch, so you put plastic over it.
Yeah, there's nothing more comfortable on a hot summer day than sitting on a plastic piece of couch.
I think it's big in the ethnic communities, kind of the hair product thing going on, and the Puerto Ricans and that kind of thing. They all have sort of hair products, so they have to keep it off the couch. I don't know. My friends grow up.
What?
It's true, man. It's just truth. That's nothing wrong with that. I'm speaking truth.
Oh man. All right. I'll take your word for it if you say so.
Yeah. So what's been going on, Dan? We haven't been here for like 4 weeks. What's happening?
Not much, really. I mean, we talked about that we were going to be doing this like every week now, and we were going to commit to it. And then what do? The first episode after we committed to doing that, we take like a month off and not do it. So, what has been going on? I don't know. I've been trying to get back out there. I rode my bike a couple times. I realized how out of shape I am. When you don't have anything to train for, I was enjoying going out and just doing short little workouts. And then you realize when you go out with people who are actually working out, God damn, you realize how out of shape you get on that. So I've just been enjoying my little ride down to Volano Beach. Down in Volano, they have this little, $1 million cutout section. I don't know if you've ever been there, down there by the Publix.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, when we get down there, it's like you'd be on vacation on your own. It's like a 2-minute or probably 2 or 3 minute tool around the little $1 million neighborhoods that we like to do before we, saunter back to the beach and suffer on our way back. So that's one of the things that we like to do out there. As far as
I know in the past you ventured into St. Augustine and maybe had yourself a cup of cappuccino on a ride before.
Oh, I mean, first of all, in the middle of summer, there's nothing better than a slushie halfway through your ride.
Oh,
And then,
ooh.
are you a Coke
What
slushy guy, or are you a
I don't
what kind?
know. I'm a kind of a suicide slushy guy. You put
Yeah.
all of them in. You know, you put the blue, the green. Give me a little Mountain Dew flex there for a minute. And maybe a little Coke on top. Whatever.
So you're doubling up. You're not only going with the slushy with the Coke, but you're also doing the high energy Mountain Dew as well.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. That's how I roll.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you're going in, you're all in at that point.
So, Dan, I did see that you had posted up a couple times that you were going to be riding 17 mile an hour, leading a kind of I don't know if you're leading, just you were going to be putting on a kind of a 17 mile an hour ride. And I just, me and Janine, I was like, I doubt that. I doubt you're going 17.
You're,
I've never seen you go 17. You're going
I,
17 before you get out of the parking lot.
I was committing, because I felt like I hadn't done enough for some of the other athletes out there. And when Sky and I were down there 2 weeks ago, we went down to Claremont and we rode with the group that's training for Augusta. And I thought this was a good time, a week leading out for people to go out there and get some endurance riding in there. And yeah, so I post a 17 mile an hour ride. I show up.
How'd that work out?
There's like 25 people there. I'm like, wow, people really love the 17 mile an hour ride. And
they love you, Dan. They love you.
I don't know if they love me. No, I don't know about that. And anyway, so we pull out, we start, and everybody's like, Dan, you're not going 17. I said, legit, I committed to riding 17. That's what I'm doing. So we pull out. We're about 3 miles into the ride. All of a sudden, everybody just starts taking off. Boom, 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 boom. And then I'm gone. I'm basically left with a couple people, tooling around at 17 miles an hour. And that's what everybody kind of did their own thing. So so for all the people out there that complain that when I post something and I don't do that actual speed, I actually held to the speed and nobody wanted to stay with me. So, I don't know. Is it better to say I'm going slower and then ride faster, or vice versa? I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of called bullshit on that when I saw that. I was like, that's not going to happen. There's no ways. But you did. You stuck to 17 and you were happy there and everybody took off and left you.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see. How's the Augusta crew for this year? Man, I know Stellar Endurance has a solid crew that ventures up to Augusta every year.
Yeah, Augusta is probably one of the favorite races out there. So we got a big crew going up there. It's and I don't know. Did you see the weather? Like every year, Augusta is deathly hot, and then at the beginning of the week, I see it's like low of 50 and high of 75, and I was like, of course it is. Yeah. What?
What? It's instead of low of 107, high of 132.
Every year when you go to Ironman Augusta, it is an absolute death march. People are just out there melting to the ground, and all of a sudden they're getting like 70-degree temperatures. I guess that happens like once every 6 years, because I think Sky said one of the years that she did it, she actually lucked out and got some cooler temperatures. But every year that I've done it, I'm like, dear God, why do I do this race?
It's going to have a 9 mile an hour current. It's going to be wetsuit legal. It's going to be 71 degrees with a nice breeze out of the north.
Tailwind the
entire way. All the hills got knocked down by bulldozers. It's crazy. There's no alligators in there this year.
No, they took everything out. It'll be interesting. No, I'm unfortunately I'm missing Augusta this year. I'm making Sky go solo because I'm heading out to South Dakota for a conference for work. So I got to leave on Sunday and won't be able to attend the Augusta. So this will be my first year missing it in quite some time. So I'm kind of sad about that. There's nothing better than flying out to Rapid City, Iowa on a Sunday afternoon.
So what goes on out there in South Dakota? What do you intend on accomplishing?
Well, I'm going out there for a manufactured housing conference. which I assume is probably all that goes on out there, other than probably some parks. You got the monuments out there, and that's about it. I don't know much of it. I don't know.
There's no non-movable houses out there.
I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
It's not a concrete slab in the state. we're ready to go. We can move. Well, that'll be awesome. That'll be fun. You ever been to South Dakota? I've never been to South Dakota.
I have never been to South Dakota. So I guess as you look at the 50 states, I guess this is my opportunity to check it off the box, right?
Yeah. It's, I'm sure it'll be nice. It'll be fun. You'll have a good time.
I bet the hotels are relatively inexpensive. I think my hotel was like $18.
$75. $18 an hour.
And that includes a buffet coupon.
Yeah, you love the buffet for breakfast, don't you? You travel so much that you get the buffets for free.
Oh man, nothing.
You haven't traveled too much this year, man.
No, man, it's I have not traveled. I did my conference up in South Carolina later this year got canceled, and this might be the only one that I'm doing for work. I was up in short trip to Georgia, and then I was where was I? Made a couple other trips this year, but just short ones. Obviously, COVID kind of changed things, and that's the way it goes.
Sure. That's the way it goes. Well, I took a quick trip down to Orlando for a big pickleball tournament, 1,300 players, and it ended up for me kind of like my Augusta race, where I was just hanging on buoy number 2 for the whole tournament. Never got anything in. What does it do every afternoon in Florida in August, in Central Florida?
What is the what?
What does it do every afternoon in Central Florida in August?
4:00 rains.
Pours. Well, it didn't wait till 4, about 1 o'clock every day. It just poured down raining. None of the men's divisions got completed. So they had 700 men that none of theirs got completed. And some things are different, but some things stay the same in pickleball. If they don't complete your event, they don't give you any refunds. So $100 buy-in for the tournament and no refunds for rain. So there's quite, a bunch of unhappy people.
I was going to ask you how that was, because I thought you fell off the face of the earth. I mean, I texted you and called you twice last week and texted, and I didn't hear from you. And I'm like, I told Janine on Saturday, I said, is Rich still alive? I haven't heard from that guy in a long time.
I didn't think I was ghosting you, but maybe I was.
You were big time in me. You were pickling me.
It wasn't on purpose. I assure you that. I enjoy your company. Enjoy hearing from you. I just had a bunch going on, I guess. But so we were down there in Orlando. So some things are different, but some things stay the same. Kind of like Ironman canceling out races and people being upset that they don't get refunds. Kind of the same thing in other venues, other ventures. So I figured 700 men at $100 a piece. That's $70,000 worth of entry fees. And just gone. Can't play your event because it rained.
Yeah. I guess there's it kind of like Ironman. There's a lot of hard costs. I'm assuming that they've already put into the event. Is that
sure? Yeah. I mean, they've rented the venue and paid for that. So those are kind of fixed costs that aren't going away, whether the event goes off or not. Kind of like Ironman. And so it's kind of the same thing. So I don't think I'll be participating in another mid-August tournament in Central Florida. I won't be doing that again.
Where do those tournaments happen?
This one was at U.S. Tennis Association training complex down just south of the airport. So they've got a humongous tennis facility down there, and they're kind of converting some of it into pickleball. But they had just rows and rows and rows of courts.
Could you do a cap a tournament and have a certain number of people at your facility? Could you got a big enough facility?
I mean, we're only a couple courts right now, but we'll definitely be having some small tournaments, some kind of round robin tournaments, and be doing things like that in the near future.
Well, Rich, would you just invite the top 100 players in the country to come play? That's what you need.
I know a few of them.
I bet you do, pickle man.
I know a few. Anyway, so That's what I was doing. I didn't mean to ghost you. If I did, Dan, my apologies.
It's all right, Rich. My feelings weren't hurt that bad.
Yeah, I know you've got thick skin. You don't care about anybody else, so it doesn't matter. So you're good. Hey, on the triathlon. On the triathlon notes, we did have a race after 2 years. Ironman 70.3 World Championships went off.
Is that what happened this weekend?
Yeah, sure did. St.
Wow.
George, Utah.
I heard that was the perfect venue for it. Not only is it probably the hardest course that people have done, but you throw in some hail, you throw in some wicked wind, then you throw in a little bit of heat, and I mean, sounds like the perfect world championship.
I did see they had hail, right? They actually had hail.
It came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, barricades are blowing away, and tents are blowing down, and it's hailing, and then all of a sudden it's sunny.
Like, oh, hail.
So, yeah, it was interesting. I was trying to get you to get on prior to the 70.3 Worlds because I wanted to do picks. I love to do picks, and we didn't get to do that, and we're terrible at picks.
Should we do the Collins?
But I love to do it.
Should we do the Collins Cup picks real quick? I'll tell you our results real quick before we go into
we can
70.3 World Championships. Just real quickly, I really do think a blind monkey could have picked better than us. So Dan, you did win. You had 4 correct picks out of 12. I had 3. You edged me out at the line. We both picked the last race incorrectly. I don't know who it was, but I had a chance to tie it up there at the end, and it didn't come through. But we were both going in the first 4 races. We were both 0-4. We were 0-8 actually. Between the two of us, there's only three people. We didn't pick the one winner.
So wait, we had Taylor Knibb absolutely dominated that first number 1. She came out and basically punched Daniela Rife in the face with the performance that she put on. Probably one of the most impressive performances of the day. She rode away on a road bike, absolutely annihilated everyone, ran away from everybody. So Taylor Knibb, I think we both picked Daniela, I think on that. So
we both had Daniela Rife. So
yeah.
We both we guessed that one incorrectly.
Yeah, match 2. I think I chose Paula Finley. You chose Katie Zafaras, and of course,
correct.
Lucy Charles Barclay won.
Correct.
I don't know why did neither one of us pick her. Like that was
I have no idea.
What the hell is wrong with us? We do an endurance sports podcast and we don't choose her. Like what?
Oh my gosh.
I think on match 3, I think we both chose Annie Haig, and
correct.
Unfortunately, she didn't come. It was great. Jeannie Metzler, who I actually spoke with Justin and texted back and forth with him. We're actually going to have him on the show because he was actually competing at the Collins Cup. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to have him on. I think it'll be good to get a little insight on that. So we were both terrible picks on that. Match 4. I think you chose Holly Lawrence and I chose Sky Munch, I think, if I recall correctly.
Correct.
And Sky texted as soon as we made picks and said, "You guys are idiots. Ellie Salthouse is going to win that for sure." and who won, of course, wasn't either one of our picks. And then I chose match 5 right. I had Emma Pallett Brown winning, and I think you had Sarah Crowley, if I recall correctly. Match 6, Katrina Matthews. I think I had her. And
you had Matthews.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who you picked. Match 7.
Sorry, who was the L? Who won that?
Katrina Matthews.
Yes. I had somebody that started with L. I don't even know. I just put.
You had Carrie Lester then.
There we go.
And then match 7, one of the ones that we were really looking forward to, the Jan Frodeno, Sam Appleton, Sam Long, the kind of just to see, Sam Long, can he put his money where his mouth was on that? I think Jan came out and, he decided, he's like, every time, it is funny when you're that good and you never lose, like, Jan wants to win everything. And he not only wants to win everything, he wants to dominate everybody. So he was winning by a wide margin coming in at the end. And he's sprinting it out, knowing that if he wins by enough minutes, he can get that extra 30 seconds or minute for his team. So, it looked like he was putting in a hard effort at the end, but Jan Frodeno, of course, comes in with the fastest time of the day. So, I mean, no surprise there. Match 8, Gustav Iden, I think I had winning. I can't remember if we both picked him.
We both had Iden. Yeah, we both had Iden.
Okay.
On that one.
Who had the second fastest time of the day? I mean, that guy, well-rounded. We talked about him at Daytona. Absolutely killed it. Match 9, obviously you took your fanboy. I took Keenley. And
what?
Yeah, your boy. I know he put on a good performance though. Good on him. I thought Keenley was going to be able to run him down. He missed by 1:06. Just ran out of time. Match 10, Daniel Bacard. I think I chose him.
Correct,
but I'm not 100% sure.
Yes,
in that match, Ben Canute came out and he was crushing. I mean, he put in a very good bike. And then those short distance athletes, because right out of the T2, he puts his shoes on and he's out within like 10 seconds. He's gone and already a quarter mile away before Bacard even gets out of transition. I mean, it was unbelievable how fast they do that. Needless to say, eventually Daniel was able to run him down and take the win there. Then we had Braden Curry, who neither one of us had. I think you had Matt Hansen and I had Patrick Lang, or maybe that was vice versa.
I had Curry.
Oh, did you?
One of my wins, yes.
Oh, my bad. Really? You didn't choose Matt Hansen?
That's all right.
Patrick
I only
Lang?
had 3.
All right. Yep. All right. There you go. And then Jackson Landry, Joe Skipper, and Justin Metzler. Neither one of us had Jackson on there. I don't think.
We both had Skipper.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, you know why? Because Skipper came at game face. Remember him walking down and he was stone face, like, I want to annihilate everybody. And the one thing that we were looking forward to was because there was a little trash talk going back and forth between those 3 athletes leading up into the race. And then they interviewed Joe Skipper after that, and he goes, I really want to win, but there's no way that I want Jackson to win. And he goes, and I hope Justin Metzler kicks his ass too.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was, I think overall, though, it was a great event. I mean, it's, rained a little bit, so some of those turns got a little dicey out there, but overall, absolutely great event. Loved watching it, and hopefully they do more things like that. I like that. I like the one-on-one stuff, even though they're a little bit longer races. What do you think? Do you think they should have just done the one race? I know I keep going back to it. I'd like to see multiple races amongst multiple athletes.
So within the same weekend or something like that, just different distances?
Yeah, kind of like what I'd like to see is basically, if you're going to base it off the Ryder Cup, do it like the Ryder Cup. Do a singles match, which could be Sunday, which could be the longer distance. And then Saturday, do 2 short, like, sprint races. One's one's a team competition. And then one's like an alternate shot, which is, basically two team members go out, and whoever has the fastest time, you take their time. Like, I don't know. I just think they should do something else like that. I would have liked to see a few more races go down than just the one. I thoroughly enjoyed watching those races, but I was thirsty for more, Rich. I wanted to see a little bit more racing.
I think the athletes probably have to put a little bit more effort into these type of races than Tiger Woods does participating in the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But these are finely tuned athletes. I mean, you talk about, Lionel Sanders, who wants to, he competed in an Ironman distance race the weekend before this race. Like, your body needs to recover at any one. Like, absolutely amazing what these athletes can do. So, but if you were doing a shorter distance, I think you could do 2 short distances and then maybe a modified, maybe not as long as what they did on Sunday, but maybe a little bit shorter distance. It'd just be a little bit different. Maybe mix it up a little bit, or maybe they have, maybe they expand it and you have 12 athletes compete on Sunday, and then you have another 12 athletes that compete on Saturday, Sunday, doing mix races or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. It'd be fun to watch, and the I mean the options could be unlimited. You could throw in a little duathlon race or something like that with and the strategizing for between the team captains of who to put in what position and against whom. So that would be pretty fun. This was a good event though. It was fun to watch, and I enjoyed doing this with you, kind of the draft. And I wish we would have I would have got my shit together and we could have done it for the 70.3. But in the future, maybe we'll try to do that. We'll set up maybe the top 20 of each race and go down to pick, and the winner has to buy the loser has to buy the winner a cheeseburger or something like that.
Ooh, now you're talking.
A cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. Although it's a pumpkin beer time, Rich. So maybe we could go for an Oktoberfest or something.
Right. Just people are so happy about that, aren't they?
You know what the crazy thing is? And it's just
still
like
90
Christmas.
degrees out, 94
It's
degrees
just like
out.
Christmas. They keep moving it farther up and up. So pumpkin is now out in August. And like you said, in Florida, it's 100 degrees outside. And you're like, I can't wait for my pumpkin latte.
People are sitting around the fireplace, with their s'mores and sweating their asses off just so they can drink their pumpkin beers. And all the pumpkin beers are like 9.5%, so they're
they're filling for sure. Yeah, God, it takes 2 days to sweat that out.
Sweat that one out, boys. Sweat that one out.
Oh man. Anyway, so circling back, we went back to the Collins Cup, but we were did talking about the 70.3 World Championships, and there was a little trash talk there right before the 70.3. I thought Christian Blumenfeld kind of threw down and said he was he had obviously had a great year. He's a world triathlon champion, Olympic champion. Thought he was going to be there, and he basically, I don't know if it's joking or jest or whatnot, but basically told Gustav Iden, I think I'm the stronger athlete. And Gustav came back and said, I'm reigning champion. Well, and I plan on remaining champion. So, we'll see what happens. But I know you and we both love the trash talk. People should do it more. I think it just creates a lot more personality for these athletes out there, calling out other athletes. And obviously when you do that, it makes you want to perform at your best.
Yeah, I think the different personalities. I think obviously guys like Sam Longa, like some of these other guys, they have the personalities for it. Most of these athletes are just kind of guys that go out and grind on their own. And obviously, this is a very kind of lonely sport, and these guys are out there on their own a lot. So I don't think I just don't see a lot of these guys having that kind of personality. I don't know. Maybe a few of them, but not many. I do like it though. I think it's great for the sport.
But they're uber competitive though. And you would figure once you're uber competitive, you want to, anything that can drive you, Michael Jordan, he would find anything to get that a little extra motivation when he was trying to dominate somebody. I mean, it just, you seem like Lionel Sanders, like, I know I'm going to outwork you. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to outwork you, and then I'm going to do it on the course. Like, he's, seems like a very quiet guy, and he just goes about his business. But yeah, I'd like to see a little talk out of Lionel.
Yeah, I think he's got to back it up. He has talked a few times and hasn't come through on a couple of occasions when he has opened his mouth and kind of called some people out. So maybe he just says, hey, I'm going to let my work. Let my race results do the work for me and show how I am. So I don't know. I do like it though. I do like and wish there was more of it. And especially somebody like calling out Gustav Iden. He seems like he's from Norway. He's like seems like such a nice guy, It's like he's from Norway. Come on. I mean, he's got tulips and shit, but yeah. He defended his title from 2019. They hadn't raced a race since 2019. He came back and defended his title at 3 hours, 37 minutes, 13 seconds. Dan.
Is that fast, Rich?
I don't know, dude. That just seems ridiculous.
That is uber fast. I mean, he biked a 158.
I've been in the bathroom longer than that, Jesus. It's like, wow.
It is amazing that leading up to the race, that's all anybody was talking about, how hard that course was, how much climb there was. And then to throw down, I mean, he's 27 plus miles an hour on that bike course. I mean, it's just unbelievable what he can do. And then had a 111. I think he ran a 111 and change. I mean, that guy's just smoking that course. And that was all uphill and downhill. And I guess it was pretty strategic out there. Forgive me, I wasn't out there because I'm not a good enough athlete, to qualify to be there. But they said the run course was all uphill and all downhill. So, I mean, you really got to pick and choose. Like I'm a big, tall, lanky guy. Like I can't descend. Like when I run down, I'm like, if you ever saw me run down the bridge of the Gate River Run, you'd be like, what is that thing coming down? Guy looks like he's gonna fall over and start rolling.
6'6", 6'7". I don't know how tall you are. You look like a damn. What is that?
Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. Watch
Gumby coming down the bridge.
There is no doubt. So, so good. I mean, obviously, Iden's a lot more compact and a lot more efficient, so he's able to swing that. But, probably the biggest surprise of the day, I mean, what would you say? Having to see Sam Long come in second? I mean, that's got to be one of the biggest upsets for some of those people there.
Yeah, especially since I picked him for the Collins Cup a couple weeks earlier, and he didn't win that for me. So, so for come back and come in second for me, come on. He wasn't
so
looking
close,
out for
Rich. I know you were envisioning him for the 70.3 championships, not for the Collins Cup, right?
That was it. That must have been it. No, I was trying to envision taking you down in our picks. That was all I cared about.
You had to be around to do the picks, though. I know. We got to do picks all the time. Let's just pick any sport that's got a game or championship going on from now on, and we'll just do picks.
I'm for it. I'm down.
Okay. All right. I like
for hamburgers.
All right. We'll do at the end of this. Do you want to do picks for football? You want to do football picks?
Oh shit! Is there football going on now?
Yeah. Have you been totally out of the loop? I don't know.
I don't watch the football. Jags are 0-2.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to catch you up real quick. The Jags are 0-2. They suck.
Did you see that the quarterback? What's the quarterback kid's name? Trevor Lawrence. His first regular season game of his career that he lost was the Jaguars' first game in his high school career or in his college career. He never
isn't it?
Lost a regular season football game until he came to Jacksonville.
And then he's going to have 17 of them. That poor bastard.
Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous.
Oh man. Let's go back.
I think the race of the day was Lucy Charles Barclay.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and again, someone we didn't choose. Would we have chosen her? I mean, I don't know. We probably would have picked every other person except for her because we're idiots when it comes to picks. But yeah, no.
It was a stacked field. The ladies' field was definitely a stacked field, and she won. I mean, she had the fastest split in all three criteria, all three events, and she ran a 4 hour and 20-second race. So fastest split in all three disciplines and won by 8 minutes.
Yeah, she could have coasted in at the end and just kind of taken it all in. That's pretty impressive when you could I think she was putting in 4 minutes on the bike and then 4 minutes onto the run. I mean, that's pretty incredible. And then when you think about, we always talk about, Daniela, and it's like, is she ever going to lose? Well, she not only lost, I mean, she got worked over. I mean, she finished 17 minutes back.
I think she was finished 11th place or something.
She did. Do you think, and good on Jeannie Metzler, man, running up to second place. Like, I hadn't really watched her race, but watching her not only in the Collins Cup, but here, I mean, man, she can really run.
Yeah, I thought that was, for that finish for her and for, Lucy Charles Barclay, that was the race of the day, obviously, for me. I think, it's just super impressive.
Do you think the women's race was, typically when you look at men's races and women's pro fields, like the men's are always a lot deeper. Do you think the women's field was deeper this year than the men's field?
You think it's getting deeper?
I think it was like I feel like the athletes, there were more athletes in the women's field that could have won that race than there were in the men's.
Yeah, I think they're probably I think they're all catching up and getting better and better. And there's kind of getting to be some kind of parity in the women's field where you look down the starting lineup and you say, hey, there might be, 10 or 12 ladies that could win this race. Where you look at the men's field, you might say, yeah, there might be 3, 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many. I feel like in the men's race, so many things would have needed to go on right for some of those guys to win. Whereas if you look at that top 10 and you say any one of those names, you could be like, I could see them winning. I
Sure.
mean, it's, yeah, it just, it was weird because as you know, when you go to races and they always talk about the pro fields for the men and women, sometimes you'll have 30 pro men and you'll have like 10 pro women racing. It just seemed like it was a lot more even, and I thought it was a little bit deeper. So it was kind of interesting to see how that went.
And when you looked at some of those races, I mean, we've looked at it in the past in some of the, Ironman races, Ironman Augusta a few years ago, where, yeah, you did have these ladies, but it might be 30 deep in the pros, but most of them don't have any chance, no chance, maybe 3 deep. And like I just said, I think there's getting to be more parity, and they're all getting better and all getting faster, and it shows.
Yeah, for sure. It's do you think and looking at the times, because remember when this first started, when St. George first started, they were supposed to have the men's or they were supposed to have the women's on Friday and then the men's race on Saturday. They typically split those up, and they changed it kind of last minute for the women and put both races on Saturday. So all the women had to kind of change their plans around. They were getting in early, they were checking their bikes in early, doing all that, last minute changes. And then when you look at the starting list, they had all the women going off in the afternoon. So not only were they getting shafted on their travel plans, they're also getting shafted on the race time because it's going to be a lot hotter in the afternoon. What did you think of that? What did you think about that call on Ironman? You think they should have staggered that, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think ultimately somebody's going to get if you're going to start them differently and start the men and women differently, somebody's going to get the short end of that straw. I think it highlights the women to have them coming in last. It highlights the women, and I think that's good. I think if you have the women go off first and get them done, that the men's race would steal the spotlight. And I think it highlights the women's race and highlights their efforts. So I think it's kind of good and bad with that. Definitely puts them out there in the heat of the day, which is kind of unfair. But somebody was going to get that short end of the stick. But like I said, I think it highlights the women's race having them come in later.
Yeah, it does. And a lot of those, a lot of the triathletes out there, sometimes they can, some of the male athletes, they can be dicks out there. I mean, that's
really.
I know you've never heard that ever in your life before.
People are mean. I don't know that. No, but I still think mass starts are the way to go. I think the only fair way to do it is everybody get in the water. I think it's probably, if you came down to it's probably ultimately safer to have everybody get in the water and go at the same time than have this long drawn out hours and hours and hours where people are in the water. If you got people in the water and out of the water, it would be done. If you don't want to get involved with the hoopla, if you don't want to get involved with the elbows, you stay back a little bit.
Yeah, but at a world championship, though, I mean,
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, I like the mass start, but I know it's for safety precautions. They kind of did away with it, but I think at a world championship where you had to qualify to be there, I think it's okay to do a mass start. I'll agree with you.
Yeah, get in, hop in, let's go.
Throw some bows.
Wasn't it Metzler who said that they would take a punch? Who said they would take a punch from Mike Tyson?
Metzler.
Yeah,
for like $25.
Yeah. A Waffle House breakfast. She's taking a slap from Mike Tyson. Right to the
Jeannie's tough if she's willing to do that for that little money.
She'll you think she's not going mass start if she's given the opportunity? She's taking a shot from Mike Tyson. Come on. Come on.
Hey, speaking of which, this is way off topic, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but did you see? What do you think about this? Evander Holyfield, I should. Oscar De La Hoya was supposed to fight Vitor Belfort this weekend in, a prize, kind of exhibition match. De La Hoya had to pull out because of COVID reasons. Evander Holyfield,
allegedly.
I think he was
going to get his
scared.
ass kicked.
Oh, Vitor Belfort would absolutely annihilate him.
Yeah, I would inject if I had to fight him. I would inject myself with COVID. I would.
That guy, he just looked. Imagine standing across the ring looking at that guy who with this mohawk ready to kill you.
Give me a vial of COVID. I'm mainlining COVID instead of fighting that dude. Metzler, she would go after that guy though.
Oh, no doubt she would. No doubt.
She's a beast. Okay,
and,
go ahead.
Anyway, so on 1 week's notice, Holyfield steps in, 58 years old, and obviously got absolutely creamed, knocked out within the first 2 minutes. But did you see any of the pre-fight interviews? When I was back in college, I watched Evander Holyfield at a sports symposium. That guy couldn't put a sentence together back then. And at 58 years old, you're doing interviews. I mean, legitimately, that guy, someone had to be worried for his health, right?
He was mush, huh? I didn't see any of it.
Oh, God.
He couldn't form a sentence when you were in college. Oh, they just put him up there, propped him up in the corner and said, go take one. Oh,
I mean, at that point, did Holyfield just step in, or is he like, what are you trying to do? 58 years old, you've been a world champion multiple times over. Like, you have nothing left to prove. Like, you're almost 60. You're fighting a guy 20 years younger than you, who's an absolute killer. And I know back in his day, he was a killer too. But my God, like, who are these people that are putting these fights together? They're like, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's just throw almost a 60-year-old guy in the ring used as a punching bag.
Do you think the promoter gives a shit what happens to Holyfield? Come on, I wonder if Holyfield needs the money. Really? I don't know. What is how much did Evander Holyfield make in his career?
Oh my God, I don't know, but he had $1 million. How many?
60.
Oh,
different times, bro. Different times. Yeah, but I mean, he's not making McGregor money. He's not making $100 million a fight. He maybe made. I bet he made less than $35 million in his career.
So Evander Holyfield estimated he earned more than $300 million from his 57 fight career. That guy.
Okay, I had the under. So yeah, okay. So he shouldn't be.
But this is what it says. It says his net worth. And again, this is
$88.
You're not far off. His net worth is $1 million. So where does $300 million go? And first of all, you are taking 57 fights. Do you know how many times you've been punched in the head at 57 fights?
His brain is spaghetti.
I mean, we talk about
how do you make $300 million and not have $1 million?
I don't. You have a big entourage. That's what happens,
man.
I don't know. All I know is we talk about NFL concussion protocol. You know, they're getting hit one time with a helmet on. These guys are getting punched in the head hundreds of times every single fight. That guy probably took over 57 fights. He probably took almost 5,000 punches to the head.
500 man punches, like man punches.
like I'm Mike Tyson punches to the head. Yes. I mean, he's fighting the guys that will knock you out with one punch.
Could you imagine being his entourage saying, we got to take him out and put him up against this guy, but we need more entourage money. We're running low over here, Evander. We're running low.
Evander, I don't care what shape we're going to throw you out there,
I don't
buddy.
care. You had that chance to start selling those grills like George Foreman, and you passed on it because you had spaghetti brain. couldn't talk. George Foreman, how much did he make on the George Foreman grill? I think he made like $100 million on the grills. Something ridiculous.
There is no doubt he
something
made
ridiculous.
a slew of money.
George, wonder what George Foreman's net worth is compared to Evander Holyfield. Same, and they're the same guy, right? They're the same guy.
George Foreman?
Yeah. I mean, they were from the same era, same kind of.
George Foreman was prior. George Foreman was prior Vander Holyfield, but they
little bit before
they crossed paths. So
Sure.
here's your. So George Foreman's net worth is $300 million. He sold a lot of grills.
He's selling those grills, baby. Oh, those grill utensils. Oh, forget about it. We just picked up a new Blackstone. I look forward to getting into that.
Oh, look at
you, Blackstone.
I mean, you're out of my league, buddy. That's your Blackstone.
No,
Blackstone.
Is that no. Blackstone's is for paupers like yourself. $150. You can get a 2-burner Blackstone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
thought you were going level above green egg there on me.
No, we got the green egg, but the Blackstone's just like a flat top, I don't know what grill top kind of.
So you're saying the Blackstone is for the people that you invite over that you don't truly care about and don't want to give okay. Correct. So like when I come over, I'm getting the Blackstone. I'm not getting the green egg. Okay.
No,
all right. I just wanted to confirm.
The Blackstone opens up possibilities of breakfast items, and I'm a big fan of breakfast items. I'm a big fan of the eggs, the huevos, and the pancakes. I'm a big fan of that. So it opens up that kind of time. We could cook that.
I'm a big pancake guy too. I love a good pancake. Are you a plain pancake guy? Or are you like a blueberry and strawberry?
I don't want dessert for my breakfast. We don't need to make our breakfast into a dessert. We don't need to start adding chocolate chips and whipping cream and we don't need to do that. We just I want breakfast.
I don't want any of that.
No.
I want this. I want a nice fluffy pancake. I want a ton of butter on it and real maple syrup.
Oh, a ton of real butter. Actually, I think we talked about this before. I do like the country crock. Did we talk about the country crock?
Yes.
Yeah. And we have the battery sized country crock in their fridge. I do like the fake country crock.
I've been going. I've been buying the Earth Balance with the olive oil in there. I'm trying to,
what
I don't know. It makes me
you...
feel like I can use more of it.
What is wrong with you?
I don't. But there's nothing better than real maple syrup.
There is nothing better.
Anybody who puts like the log cabin or Aunt Jemima on there, is not even experienced. You're not even playing the same game at that point.
I don't think you can say Aunt Jemima anymore.
No, why not? Is it not called that anymore?
No, I think it's not that anymore. I think she's
what's it called then?
She's gone.
It's called fake syrup.
Fake syrup, yeah. We can't call it Aunt Jemima anymore.
Sugar water.
I was Aunt Jemima for Halloween one time. You think you can get away with that anymore?
No way.
I was bartending behind a bar. I was Aunt Jemima.
Oh, you would get killed.
Fantastic. I was also I can't think of the. Never mind.
Gotcha. I don't even know what to say to that.
What was the little girl, Little Miss Colorado? I was her for Halloween one time.
I sense a theme here. Why are you always a woman? Is there something you need to tell us?
I have nice shaved legs.
You like to wear heels?
Dude, I hit my shin yesterday. Playing pickleball. I hit my shin and it bruised a little bit of a bruise. And then about an hour later, I was still playing. I looked down and I'm not kidding you. Looked like a golf ball was under my shin. I never seen anything like it. I never seen a bruise like that. So something happened. There was some sort of little bruise, and then it just went, whoo, and it was crazy. I never seen anything like it. Came home, put ice on it. It still hurts. Very, very sore today. So I really thought I was going to have to maybe have it amputated or something.
You got a little high ankle sprain there. You had a little fracture
right on the shin. If you have very, very, very sensitive shins, if you want to take me down, kick me in the shin. You can hit me in the head with a 2x4. I don't care. But you hit my shin, I'm going down. I'm going down.
Yeah, it's a sensitive area. There's not a
Very
lot of
sensitive.
meat. There's no meat there either. You're
Nothing.
right on the
Nothing.
bone.
Nothing. I should lift my chin up and show you how swollen it still is. It's crazy.
I don't know. I'm mesmerized by your lava lamp in the back still.
Oh, it's still here, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
lava
yeah.
lamp. I think I'm going to start a Instagram page for my lava lamp.
You should. You should
Yeah.
definitely do that.
Dan gets rich lava lamp.
Remember, we were going to have people start sending you lava lamps, and you could put them all.
Yeah,
over
it
your
would
room.
be amazing.
I know. We need to start that.
Just mail me a lava lamp at Dan Gets Rich on Pine Street.
There you go. just Pine Street. You'll find me.
They will. It's like one of those little towns where they just write Dan. Dan.
No last name, just Dan.
Dan Pine Street. It just comes.
That's what happens when you own your own street, Rich.
No.
Hey, what? So here we go. I saw that the Olympic gold medalist and obviously newly crowned 70.3 world championships, we talked about them loving to race. They were given wild card slots to the Super League US debut going on here. That's going to be happening up in, I think, the next couple of weeks. So what do you think about them switching? Do you think Flora and Christian have better odds than Gustav and Lucy Charles in a sprint triathlon that's going to be draft legal?
So the Super League is draft legal, short super sprint, right?
Yes.
Short race.
Yep.
And the Gustav Iden got a bid to be involved with this, as did Lucy Charles.
Yes.
They don't stand a chance.
You think no chance at all?
None.
You think Blumenthal? I mean, I don't know the full start list. We'll have to do this because the race isn't.
Just like
race is in 4 days.
Just like I said, they'll still be putting their shoes on, and somebody that's a super sprint specialist will be out the gate, gone. That's just a different game there.
All right. Okay.
What
I tend to agree with you. Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. I think it does when it comes down to seconds. Those matter, and
be like putting Tom Brady in arena football.
He'll still dominate.
No, just you're such a homer.
You can't say I'm a homer anymore. He doesn't play for my team.
You still love him. You would still kiss him. It's true. No, it would be. Have I ever kissed Tom Brady? No, I have not.
No, that's not what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you ever saw Ted 2.
Ted 2?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're referring to.
The movie, Ted.
Ted 2?
Ted 2. Yeah, you need to.
Was there a Ted 1?
Yeah, there's Ted, and then there's Ted 2.
Okay. What
Tom
Brady
Tom Brady makes an appearance in Ted 2. I'm not going to look it up if you want to see.
Okay. How great Tom Brady is.
No. If you want to see what I'm talking about, I'm not going to discuss.
Tom Brady a billionaire? Is their family a billionaire? They think they're billionaires. Him and his wife.
Oh yeah, Giselle's definitely. I don't know. She's probably worth $500 million, and Brady, I think he's probably earned. Well, he's been in the league for 20 years now. Let's just say on average, he's probably made about $15 million per year. I don't know. They got to be pretty close.
Probably adds up. Depends on if he bought Bitcoin or not.
I'm gonna say that he doesn't worry about where his next lunch is coming from.
No. No. And neither do you, apparently. I think you've got lunch on that table back there waiting for you.
It's pine cones.
Who puts pine cones on their table? I bet we do. I bet we have pine cones somewhere in our house.
For sure you have pine cones. My mom, I'm growing up, my mom, because you could up north, you could get those huge pine cones. Yeah, she had the pine cones.
Oh, it makes the house smell fantastic, I'm sure.
No doubt.
I come home and Janine's got candles all over the house. I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we, hippies here? What is going on here?
So does Janine do the different candles, different smells all over the house? You got like 18 different smells going on at one time?
It's She has that little infuser. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it
Yes,
just it lights different colors and infuses and shoots like something into the air. I think we live in a fucking hippie commune over here. What's going on? I'm quite sure when I leave and go out of town, she burns patchouli and dances around. I'm sure something goes on.
Lionel's over too.
Easy, son. Easy. Hey, I saw that you
Right.
are on Clouds. Yeah, on Clouds on Shoe Company. You know the On Clouds company?
Yes.
Yeah, they just had a IPO, $600 million IPO. They've been in business for 11 years. They had 84% jump in sales last year to 344 million. They raised 600 million their IPO. 11 years. I mean, it's a shoe company. It's an 11-year-old shoe company. $600 million.
Good on them. A lot of that must be now that the Running Elements just opened up their second store in Ocala. That must be why they're stocking so many more shoes or growing their market share.
They probably sold half of those shoes. I think they probably sold half of that 344 million at the Running Elements. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what I'm projecting their total sales volume to be for On Cloud.
Good for those guys. No wonder they can open in such a nice store. I saw the pictures on the Facebook machine of the new Running Element store. Look very nice.
It is. You know, Running Elements needs to come to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think if they did, they would maybe muscle another company out.
I think they would too. I think a lot of people only go to that said other store because there's no other competition right now. I think they would do very well up in this market.
I think so too. Maybe you can make a phone call and make that happen.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if my people.
I heard you know people. I heard you know people. Hey, I did see I was on triathlete.com and I was checking out some things. I did see that they have a whole section of podcast notes section. Triathlon podcast notes, and I did see they have just little snippets of each podcast in the triathlon endurance sports world. It says kind of what they have been talking about on the recent episode. They have the Mile High Endurance people.
Oh God! Come on.
Our buddy from the Mile High Endurance. They have Triathlon Taryn on there. They talk about Triathlon Taryn, our buddy Triathlon.
Terrible.
He's done a good job for what he's doing. I like him, and I know that you're a hater, but I'm not. But the Mile High guy, come on, man. We listened to that
for 5 minutes.
And we were like, these guys are terrible. And not to say we're good, but I mean, to be highlighted on this triathlete.com site, and also the Crushing Iron guys. I like the Crushing Iron guys. I think they've done a good job for what they do.
Props to those guys. They do a good job.
They've been doing it for a long time. They're kind of the OGs and have created a good community around their podcast. And they go at things a little bit differently than we do because we don't really do anything. But there was no Dan Gets Rich. My point of this, there was no Dan Gets Rich on the podcast notes section there at triathlete.com. So maybe if you're out there and feel like you have a few minutes to spare and you want to write an email to triathlete.com and tell them to include the Dan Gets Rich Endurance Sports Podcast. We've been here for 3 years. We bring the information. It might be incorrect, but we're a triathlete podcast. We're a triathlon endurance sports podcast right there in our name. I see it right there across the front. So
it must be true if I wrote it on the banner. It's got to be
it's
true.
on a banner. It's on a banner.
First of all, if Mile High Podcast can be on there, for sure we can. And listen, we are way more entertaining than those guys are.
That guy,
way more.
Yeah, that guy was he was a mess. Hey,
and we're much more entertaining than Triathlon Taryn. I know you like Taryn. He probably brings a little bit more substance to it or whatever.
Do you think you're twice as tall as Triathlon Taryn?
Yes, for sure.
If Triathlon Taryn stood on Triathlon Taryn's shoulders, he wouldn't be as tall as you.
We'd be about the same height.
He's a little man. We met him at Endurance Exchange. That was kind of.
he
We
had
met him when
he had to
we met him
stand
when,
on he had to stand on the bench to look you eye to eye.
yeah, this is no. I stood one level down. We were at Sun Devil Stadium. I stood one whole step down and was still looking down at him. He was standing up higher on the bench seat, higher than me, and I was still. And I'm not a tall guy. I'm 5'11" and 7/8. So in the overall scheme of things, I'm not a tall dude, but I towered over that guy. That was right before we snuck into the women's only party there at the Endurance Exchange gathering. We snuck into the women's only cocktail party.
Who followed? Everybody else followed after us.
Everyone did. They said as soon as those guys go in, we're coming.
That's right. They said if that guy who's 6'6" can get into that event, surely I can sneak in there somehow.
They definitely said that.
Before we go, Rich,
we have 3 questions.
No, before we get to that, I just really quickly. So because of all the COVID concerns obviously going on with everything in Hawaii, there was actually talk about maybe moving the venue from Kona this year. What in February? What do you think of that?
We've discussed this in the past. We've discussed this. You can go back and look in several episodes. We've discussed the pros and cons of moving Ironman Hawaii, trying to give, a different perspective on the race. You could have different elements in the race and just not the hot Hawaii, race field. And I think it's a good idea. I think it would, let some different athletes have a different opportunity to win the race.
I agree as well. The purists out there are going to say, well, it's the birthplace of triathlon, yada, yada, yada. I like the different venues out there. Obviously, it's iconic. You can always bring it back to Kona, but I'd like to see the rotating schedule. I'm a big fan. I like the 70.3 moving around. As you said, different terrain, different elements that go into, what the athletes need to face there. I also don't think I feel like they tried to make St. George as hard as possible. Do you feel like a championship race needs to be as hard as possible, or do you enjoy watching people go really fast? I mean, there's a difference there, I think, as well. And I don't think just because it's World Championship that you need to make the hardest race venue imaginable. Do you? I mean, it's kind of fun to be like, how fast can the human body go versus, some of the other things. I don't know. I don't mind it either way. I'm here nor there, but I mean, a little change of pace. Like when they had it at Clearwater, those pros used to hammer that course and it was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think you wonder if it's necessary to set up the hardest venue possible just because it's a world championship. We have to do this. Do we have to have these athletes with this certain amount of climbing and this these conditions, these heat conditions to put up with, these hailstorms that they obviously ordered for that race? And I don't know. I don't know. I think the point is to have a very, very well-rounded world champion. Someone could do it under those conditions with all the climbing and then come to Ironman, come to Florida and hammer down and be an arrow for the entire time. And, somebody that can win on both conditions would be the best well-rounded athlete. Correct?
I would think so. Yeah.
So having both or either or, having it move around, it would kind of be cool having it, having it in Hawaii every 3 years, every 4 years, maybe make it a big event then rather than just a yearly event. It could travel around the world, actually.
I agree. I also think you could do some sort of regional championships leading up to, and then you get your top athletes from each region that are able to go, or you need to progress through the different regions to be able to make it to the championship there. I think they could do something like that as well. Obviously, when you talk about Ironman, you're talking about trying to sell out races. Anytime you add some sort of championship to it, I know we always talk about it's kind of gimmicky at this point with how many times they do it, but if you want to get people to show up, just call it a championship and people will show up.
Call it a 70.3 championship and they'll figure out how to get in.
I talked about this the other day with one of our listeners, and I still think having a venue, a 70.3 that you can do, or even maybe a hybrid distance here in Jacksonville and downtown, where you close down the streets and you have basically people do, 3 or 4 loops through downtown Jacksonville. But part of that includes going up the Hart Bridge, turning around and bombing down it, and then going through downtown, doing multiple loops there. I think that would be an amazing bike course, don't you?
Yeah, I think that downhill bomb from the Hart Bridge and, just having the ambulances there ready to take people to the hospital. Because that would be I'm sure you could get some speed coming down from that Hart Bridge.
You could, but I mean, if you're talking about some sort of championship race or limited field race, I mean, you're going to get people that know how to bike handle on there. I think that would be a
Hopefully.
Great venue, and we always talk about great for spectators too. I mean, the multiple loops, I think, is such a great thing. That's why I think Augusta does so well every single year, because
Sure.
while you're waiting out there on the bike course, there's things to do. But then on the run course, you could see people 6 times, 7 times on the run while they're out there, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's and I'm totally in agreement with that. You hear from people that are families or spectators of people that go to these races, and they wave at them as they ride off, and they don't see them again till the finish line. So these events and these venues that do have multiple loops, especially on the run, and close together, like you said, in Augusta, you're 2 blocks away. You can zigzag, and you could actually see people a lot more than that if you really wanted to. I mean, Jacksonville would be a perfect venue for that. Downtown Jacksonville, you can close off Jacksonville, close off a lot of those roads, and we have the swim venue. It would be a fast swim.
It would be. You'd have to start like 3 miles down if you're doing it there, because make it the equivalent of what a normal 1.2 would be. So
be a fast swim.
Cool. Yeah, that for sure. That would be a lot of fun. I agree. So you're on board. So if one of those one year was at Ironman Alaska, you're in on that, because I know you're a big fan of Juneau.
No, I'm not going to Alaska. I'm not doing that.
All right, we got 3 questions.
Do you have 3 questions?
Sure.
Hey, Dan, we haven't done this in a while. When we first initially did 3 questions, I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of get to know each other. We had a lot of people that didn't know who you were, didn't know who I was. So we had some of these questions that were kind of just like feelsy kind of questions. So I kind of went back there, and I just had a couple things I wanted to ask you. Kind of to see your personality and see who you are as a person. Although I know you inside and out intricately. I'd like for the listeners, and we have some new people that are watching on the YouTubes. I think, I don't even know if they are. Are we on the YouTube?
We're on YouTube and Facebook right now. So
okay.
I kind of like it. I don't know. I'm interested, because now I get to see all the, on Buzzsprout, you could see where all the locations are. So we get people all over the world. And first of all, I don't know how the hell they find us, because legitimately we do no marketing for the show.
None.
Which is
zero. Negative.
Zero at all. If anybody wants to market this show, I would greatly appreciate it, because I kind of think we're entertaining. I don't know if people think we are or not, but obviously we've had some people listening over for an hour now, so we must be doing something right.
Like right now? That's scary. Hey, so Dan, we'll get back to this, and I appreciate the people that do listen, and I have a good time with it. And I wish I was a better human being and get on here every week with you. That would be a good thing for me to strive to. Hey, Dan, let me ask you this: if you could master one skill, develop one skill to master, what would it be? What would interest you in developing? What would you like to be able to do?
Oh man, one skill. Can it be like it can be anything I want?
I said one skill.
Can I make myself invisible? Could I do that?
I don't think that's a skill. I think a skill is
You know what I would like to do? I would like to be. This is what I would like to do.
Singing is a skill. Singing is a skill.
I know.
Invisibility is not a skill.
I know. I would like to be able to play the piano, and I would like to perform, be able to sing and play the piano in front of a big crowd. I would like to do that.
I'll give you that. I think that's a double skill, because you would incorporate your singing voice as well as your piano ability.
I have neither of those right now. I'm a terrible singer, and I could probably play chopsticks on the piano.
You could play chopsticks though.
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. And you would have the desire to play in front of a large crowd.
Oh, for sure. I would love to
Really?
entertain. Yeah.
Would you wear a tuxedo?
A tuxedo? Sure.
A
I will.
tuxedo.
Yes. I'll wear tuxedo pants, no shirt. How about that?
Ooh,
and a tie.
Wow. I'm hoping that somehow you get this ability because I want to see this happen. I want to see this happen. Mine would be similar. I would like to be able to play the guitar and be able to sing and entertain like that. I've tried to play the guitar a couple times over my life, and it was a drastic failure. I just don't have the ear for the music, and I don't have that. I don't have that ability. So very similar.
Yeah, that's man. You went all personal on our questions. Now I'm disappointed in my questions.
No, I like. There's no way that yours could fail in comparison to these.
All right, my first question is obviously Patrick Cantlay won the PGA Tour Player of the Year and he won the FedEx Cup Championship. Obviously, had a very good year. How much did Patrick Cantlay earn per shot in 2021?
$22,000.
Little high. Not a little high, a lot of high.
Damn it.
he $4,500 per shot.
I was going to say 11,000 and I just got carried away, Dan.
You did get carried
even
away.
11,000
was aggressive.
How much did he win total?
Over the course of the year, I think it was just over $23 million.
$23 million.
That's a good year.
Yeah. I think he made $26,000 a shot. Your math is wrong. Your math is wrong. Did you count the putts?
Yeah, everything.
Oh, I didn't count. Yeah. No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So every 1-inch putt that he made was boom, $4,500.
I didn't count the putts. So if you do the math, take the putts out, pull that out, it's closer to $22,000. I didn't count the putts. I thought you were doing like real shots. It is pretty crazy shot. That in golf that I mean, how far do you hit a golf ball? 330 yards for 380.
I used to be able to hit it far, but now I'm like on a good shot right now. I could probably hit it 270, 280. Yeah,
280. I would have guessed 280. But that's saying that 280 shot is worth the exact same as the lipped putt tap in.
Yes.
It's a weird game, man. That's a weird game. It
is, man. It is.
That's a strange game. All right, Dan, what makes you jealous? What makes you jealous? What would make you jealous? I don't know why I picked that one.
I don't know why either. What would make me jealous? What makes me jealous? And I always wanted to be a baseball player. So the people that I grew up or played against that were able to make it to the major leagues, that I'm jealous of them. I wish that I could have made it.
There's some envy there.
Yes. Yep.
That's interesting. Did you see the? I get that. I get that. People that grew up were actually much better looking than me and much more successful than me. And I have some, I guess, a little envy in that, but I'm not jealous of anything. I don't have jealousy in me. I don't look at people and say, I wish I had what he had, or I very rarely do. I think I just don't, I'm not made like that. Did you see the baseball player that hit at his first at bat, hit a home run, and the left fielder went out and got the ball from the fan? I think it was.
Oh, I did not. I didn't see that.
So the left fielder obviously is on the other team. They were at that dude's home field. The left fielder went out and asked the fan for the ball and said, "I'll take care of you." And he threw the ball down the left fielder and he threw it into the dugout.
Oh, good on him.
It was his first at bat. It was his first at bat in as a major league player. He hit a home run, hit a dinger to left field, and the left fielder had the wherewithal to go get the ball and ask it from the fan. It was a couple of days ago, and so he asked for one of the ball boys to run to the dugout and got a bat, and he gave the dude a bat. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I
That
mean,
is
he
cool.
didn't have to do that. He walked out there. You know, the kid wants that ball. You know, first at bat in the major league, hit a home run.
Yeah, for sure. I know. And then you get to the fact where all these people, where you hit milestone home runs and stuff, and then when McGuire hit his 71st, and they're holding on to the ball to try to sell it, and that stuff. That's just kind of give it back to the player.
Sure.
Yeah.
Didn't they have those balls marked or something? They had like ultraviolet markings on them so they know which one it was. Or
Yep. They wanted to make sure they were legit.
Jeez. What's with the baseball cards things right now? Do you do baseball cards?
Baseball cards are out of control right now. It's
unbelievable.
Did you see the Honus Wagner card?
No.
Okay, Honus Wagner, legitimately, probably one of the most rare of all baseball cards. I think there's 6 in the world.
What year are we talking here? Like 1918 or something?
Yeah,
like
1919, I think it is. And it's a tobacco card, and it's worth a lot because apparently Honus Wagner hated tobacco, and it was on a, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, the most expensive card, I guess. Why don't I make this one of my questions? What do you think that sold for?
I'm going to say $1 million. I don't know. It's probably more. I don't even know.
It sold for $6.5 million.
$6.5 million for the Honus Wagner one of 6, maybe.
Yes. It was probably the only one with like a double mint grading. Like, obviously, it's your pristine card that you're getting, but still, like, man, all they need to do is turn that into an NFT, and they're good.
Ooh. So the baseball cards have had a resurgence, and I have a whole somewhere back here. A box of baseball cards, and they were like late 70s, maybe early 80s, maybe 1980. But I had some card. Ricky Henderson rookie cards was one I saw that was going for a lot, and I know I have like 3 or 4. Not a lot, a few $100.
Still,
I know I had 3 or 4 of them, and I don't
sitting
know
in your box. Wouldn't you rather have $300
back there? It's behind that canvas curtain somewhere.
It's a burlap sack where you roll up the dead bodies and drag.
Yes. So that was a good question. $6.5 million for a Honus Wagner card. If you've got one sitting around right now, go look for it. Pull it out, because baseball cards, the market has gone crazy lately.
The market is like real estate right now. It's never going to be as good as it is right now.
Sell them now. Sell them now. Don't hold on to them. Sell it.
What you got? You got number 3 for me?
Yes. What age would you choose to live at forever? If you had to choose one age, what would that be?
Oh, man.
I mean, how old are you now? How old are you? Like 29 right now? 30?
I wish. I'm 43 right now.
Okay.
And if I was to live any age, I think I would do 35. You're old
35?
enough where you're old enough where you're not doing dumb shit anymore. And I think you're old enough where people respect you a little bit more. So you kind of get the hybrid where the older people will still respect you, and you don't want to do all that dumb stuff anymore.
You quit doing dumb shit at 35? Golly day. Man,
I didn't say I stopped doing dumb.
Okay.
I'm just saying you're 20 dumb stuff. You're not doing that anymore. Like, you're not partying all night, sleeping for 30 minutes and going to work. You're not doing that, I don't think, at 35.
Dan, we've lived different lives. We've lived different lives. I was pretty close to that. I was thinking 31, 32 would be good. You're still, I was in reasonably good shape then, and very healthy and active, and still having fun and still doing some things. But I thought that was a good age. I kind of started to get some shit together about then, and I was pretty close to that. But 35, I think that's a good argument for 35, though.
What about what's a good age where you're okay tapping out, where you're not going to have any regrets?
Oh, dying?
Yeah.
I'm fine now. No, I'm very comfortable with I'm very good in my faith and very good in my understanding of that. The mortality rate in the United States is hovering around 100%. We're all going to go there, and I'm very not comfortable with that. I would be sad for my family and people I left behind, but I would have no regrets at this point.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, you always want to live not having regrets on there. So, I mean, I took it a little differently. I was actually thinking of the age, and I was like, oh man, I'd be okay if I tapped out at like 75. I'm good with that.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
close to that though. I'm a driver 9 iron from 75. I'm
now
55 years old. So
20 good years left, Rich.
oh my gosh, 20 good years. I'm sore right now. Sore everything I do. I go walk down the stairs. It's like I don't know if the stairs creak more or I do it nowadays. I
Well,
go
that's
down the
because
stairs in the morning.
that's because you're a highly ranked pickleball player now.
Dude, I
What
play.
is your ranking right now? I heard you were pretty high up there.
No, they're ranked. They're ranked 2 to 5, and I probably play at a. I probably play at a 4.2 level.
So you're near the top.
Yeah, I mean, but right now, here's the issue. Right now, I'm playing 35 plus. I played 4-0, 35 plus in Orlando, and so I'm playing people who are 20 years younger than me. Instead of playing my age group, which they did have a 50 plus and a 55 plus, I'm playing 35 plus. My partner's young. He's 36. So that's relatively young. But most of the people I'm playing are very athletic, very in the same age group that you just said. So that 35 age group, they're in that age group. They're fit. They're strong. Most of them are ex-tennis players. So I'm kind of in that weird zone where I'm playing a lot of young kids.
Gotcha.
When I say young kids, like 30, but most of the people I do play are much younger than me. But at a competitive rate, I don't know how well I can continue that.
Gotcha. One of these days, you're gonna play against people your age.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to look at that, and it would be a good option, and I would be very competitive at my age group.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you're competitive right now. I need to come watch you play one of these times.
You need to come play, man.
I don't know if I'm there. Hey, my last question is: who's the number one pickleball player in the world?
Ben Johns.
I had a different answer. Is that not right? I had Jay DeVilliers. Is that not right?
Jay DeVilliers?
Yeah.
No, Jay DeVilliers is not the number one pickleball player in the world. Ben Johns is the number one pickleball player in the world. He's been the number one, and it's pretty undisputed. He's the best singles player and doubles player and mixed doubles player. He's about 22 years old. He's been the best pickleball player for 4 years or so.
Google let me down.
Jay DeVilliers, I mean, he's a good player, but he's definitely not the best player in the world, and it's not even close.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad you could answer the question for me then.
Yeah. He might be the number one player at some point in time. He definitely has beaten Ben Johns on occasion. I don't really know. I think Ben Johns lost at singles for the first time this 2 weeks ago for the first time in 3.5 years.
Wow.
So
yeah, you're a pretty damn good pickleball player if you never lose.
Yeah, if you're not losing, you're a good pickleball player. You're a good anything if you don't lose, whatever it is.
All right. Well, Rich, me and this see-through body.
I love it, dude.
Ready to go, man. I still.
Are you going to go back there?
I have literally been looking at this the entire time, being like, "What is that? I don't even know what that is. I have no idea."
You need to call StreamYard. I think you're looking right into their souls.
I might be looking directly into StreamYard.
I keep thinking I see a cat or a dog or maybe a small person walk by behind your shoulder.
Behind my shoulder. There's
right here
back there.
It's right there. There's something moving around.
That's weird, man. I don't know what that is. This shirt is supposed to be green.
Is it supposed to be green? It's a green screen kind of thing going on.
But it's a green shirt with white stripes. It's kind of weird. You can kind of see the stripes.
So it's like opposite of a green screen.
I don't know what that is. And you can see my little Jack Nicklaus
the golden bear there.
Golden bear there.
I see that. So that's a green shirt you're wearing?
Yeah.
You can't tell that at all. It's very bizarre.
It is weird.
Are we liking this new format, the StreamYard? We're liking this?
Yeah, I'm in. I love the StreamYard. I don't know how many people actually watch us on YouTube or Facebook, but I enjoy doing the live stream. It kind of re-energized me. For a while, we were going through a lull there, and I'm like, I'm back in, baby. I'm back in. I love doing this.
I'm glad you're back, Dan. It's exciting. It's
All right,
exciting.
buddy. I think we're ready to wrap up. So for all those people out there that are listening, please drop us a line. Let us know where you're listening from or what you would like us to talk about next, because I don't know, we don't decide what we're talking about till 30 seconds before we get on air.
Oh, did you plan that far in advance? Hey, Dan, thanks, man. It was nice talking to you. It's always nice talking to you. I say that with all sincerity. It's one of, even though we don't get on here and do it too much, one of my favorite things to do is sit and rap with you, and I enjoy that. Thank you.
All right, man. I enjoy
buddy.
it too. I look forward to it. We need to do it more often, though. All right, we'll
See you,
talk
bud.
soon. Okay, bye.
I was trying to point.